Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias.
Well, here's the knife I got. I cannot believe I picked up another Muskrat. I'll get into the details of that in a second, but I thought I would show you just what I grabbed, and then I'll explain why I grabbed it. And this is so cool. As you can tell, it is a Muskrat right there on a Muskrat knife, the Case Muskrat. And this is yellow smooth bone that has been laser engraved. And really just a gorgeous knife. I saw this at SMKW, and it's like, oh wow, I gotta grab it. And the thing is Muskrat knives are not something I'm normally looking for. I just don't go out there and say, what's the new Muskrat knife that's out there today? Matter of fact, it is not a pattern I'm crazy about. I do have a few, but not many. And now I have two. It looks almost like I got three, but I've got two Muskrat knives. This first one, this is the first one I picked up, and this is not a Muskrat, this is the Bird Hunter. I've showed this before. One of these days I'm actually going to review this knife. And then this is the other one I got. This is in Tiger Eye. And this was the Tiger Eye acrylic that is done by Michael Prater of, Painted Pony fame. But this was a knife that was probably produced for frost, but it showed up in other areas as well. And see here, this is clearly marked 1 of 2,500. Well, after picking up this other knife, I found out that this is actually, now it's kind of difficult to explain this. It is a limited run. I believe there's going to be a total of 500 of these made. However, it is not an SMKW exclusive. I have since noticed that it is being sold at least one other location. And SMKW did not say that this was a special factory offering from SMKW. The other location is claiming that it's a special factory offering, which usually when you see that, you think, okay, this is the only place you can get it. I've seen it at 3 different locations so far. I don't know if it means that each of these locations is getting 500 of them, or if a total of 500 is being made and each of these locations is getting like 100 of them or something like that, which I have seen done in the past where multiple places get the knife, but they only get a certain number. But in any case, what we have here is some laser engraving going on. And as we can see here, let me get this. Let me try and do this. Can we see that? So you got this Muskrat on the handle, and you can see there, if you look closely, you can see the texture of the bone in there. And then you got the wonderful laser engraving going on there. These are in the yellow smooth bone with the diamond shield, the XX diamond shield, nickel silver shield, brass pins. And we can see here, we're under 2.5 magnification there. You can see there, that build quality is just fantastic. Now, as you can tell also with the Case Muskrats, they do not put a spacer between the springs. Down the middle, there is not a brass spacer there. You do have the brass liners. On the back side, you have basically a field of cottontails there, which looks really cool too. And that's something that I also liked about it. The fact that they did not only do some laser engraving on the front of the knife, they also did the laser engraving on the back. Now, it's not the exact same scene, which is cool to me as well. I do like the reeds there with all the cottontails and stuff. That just looks really cool too. So, you've got the Muskrat environment covering the handles on this knife. Let me back out and see if I can get this to stay in focus. Okay, there we go. And as you can see, here we have the blade alignment. Is it straight down the middle? No, but it's also not hitting anything. As I mentioned, there is no center spacer, so Do you have the potential of blade rub? Yeah, you actually do. They could actually make contact, but I don't see any contact being made there. Now you could, in theory, get some contact when you go to open the blades, because as you can see, you do have a little push going on when you hit them with that, get your nail nick in there and start opening it. You could probably end up getting a little blade rub on these, because you do have two blades in the same channel, and that is one of the risks you run with a case Muskrat. Other companies have that center spacer in there. What I like about the Muskrat from Case, though, is because they leave out that center spacer, that full center spacer, you have a slightly lighter knife, and you also have a slightly slimmer knife. And so I actually do like the way they do that. And the risk of a little blade rub does not bother me. If that does bother you, then Case is not the place to go for a Muskrat. In any case, let's get her open. And we can see here that it is a fingerprint magnet because of the high polish on the blades. They do a really good job with their mirror polishing. I've mentioned that before. My problem now with many of the case knives I have is right there. They're doing the old laser etch for the tang, so instead of a tang stamp, a true tang stamp where it is stamped into the metal, they're just etching the blade, and that will rub off. You see, this is a 5-dot. This is made in 2025. Get to that in a minute with the box too. And then on the other side, we see the pattern number. And as you can see here, it just says USA Muskrat SS, so stainless steel case, true sharp stainless steel. Now this is made on the 47 frame, but they refer to it as a Muskrat. As this is a 2-blade version and it's in bone, this could have been a 6247, and they do have a 6247, but it does not have Muskrat blades on it. It doesn't have the 2 long clips. It has other blades on it. For instance, this is the Bird Hunter, same frame, the same exact knife. I mean, when you look at it here, you think it is exactly the same knife, same size, same build, and everything else. The difference is this has the long California clip or Muskrat blade for the front blade, and then the back side, it has the hook, the bird hook, and we see here it is the 6247H, H for hook. They also have a Texas Jack kind of knife, I think, that has a secondary blade, like a pin blade or something on it, and that is also a 6247. And the Stockmans are the 6347. They have 3 blades, so they use the same frame, the 47 frame, for several different knives. But when it comes to the Muskrat, it's just called the Muskrat. They don't give the number to it. So that's the difference there. They have this case diamond shield with the double X in there, and from what I can tell, they have several other knives that have laser engraving in the bone with this same shield. I'm not sure if it's just going to be something they use for these knives or not, but I do know there's also an orange persimmon bone Muskrat that is just smooth orange persimmon bone, and it also seems to have the case double X diamond shield. So all the other ones I saw do have some kind of laser engraving, so that's pretty cool. Now, I also do not know if all of them are like 1 of 500 or not. I'm hoping they are. That would be pretty cool if they're all kind of a special limited run with these laser engravings. Like I said, I'm not even 100% sure that there's only 500 of these being made. One other seller claims that there's only 500 made. That would be a question for Case, not for me. Also of interest is the box here. If you notice, the box has special stickers on there, CA 112-521 MRAT. That's the model number for this. As I mentioned before, the pattern number for a Muskrat is just Muskrat. And so you have another sticker here covering up wherever, the information that you would normally get on the Muskrat. The whole box has been covered up. So I don't have an actual born date on this other than the tank stamp, which does show that this is a 2025 knife according to the tank stamp. From what I understand from another seller, they're going to be putting them in a black felt box. SMKW did not do that. They just used the box that came from Case. So maybe they're doing it on their own. I don't know. But in any case, this is the one I have, and I'm very pleased with it. I really do like it. Look at how it comes all the way around the edges. The laser engraving comes right around the edges. And I don't know, it just looks like a really good knife to me. And the build quality of mine was quite well. I really do like it. There was no burr or anything on the blade. Yeah, it is a working edge. I would not call it the sharpest edge you'll ever find on a knife, but you can touch it up yourself once you get the knife. And a lot of people do like to do that, sharpen their own knives. So as for me, this is one for the collection. Will I ever put it in my pocket? Yeah, probably, but it will be on special occasions. And also, like, if I know I'm going to be doing some kind of pocket dump or something and I want to impress somebody, then I'll have this knife on me. Yeah, it'll be a fake pocket dump. But this is not a knife that I would be using every day. Some people would definitely do that, and I can understand why. And one of the cool things about this knife, unlike this one, there is no blade edge on there, and the laser engraving on the handle will hold up a whole lot better and show much less use than a blade edge would have. So I really do like that as well. So all in all, a really cool knife. I'm very happy to have it. And well, all I can say at this point is stick around for some slides. I'll be showing quite a few of this, and I'll talk to you again soon. Yeah, and if you ever run into me and I do a pocket dump and this knife comes out, know that I had already planned on that. I wasn't really using it.
Let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with Tobias. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.